Hello, this is Cap. Welcome to the Build Challenge India. So this challenge was to build a small fishing boat that could be spawned from the beginner base. So let's go ahead and take a look at all of the entrants. Build Challenge India. This challenge is to build an economically viable, makes more money than it costs to run fishing boat. I will disqualify anything that's not a boat. This build size is limited to the spawn area at beginner base. Infinite electric and fuel off, vehicle damage on, no glitches, no pivot, rocket wheel, exhaust deletion, negative mass, or any of the glitches. New build not previously released to the workshop or started prior to the challenge. Rules: XML cosmetic only, must be able to be spawned at the beginner base, and must cost less than 30,000. There is one at 30,000. It can be less than or equal to 30,000 is fine. Power needs to be diesel or steam. All microcontrollers and components must be made by you, nothing from the workshop. Must have onboard storage for fish. Must have fishing rod or rods on board. Testing methodology: I will spawn the boat at the beginner base. I will head toward the hospital island, noting fuel efficiency. I will stop, fish with the rod, and store fish on board. I will tour the boat, 25% wind. Grading: spirit of the challenge, how well does it conform to the spirit of the challenge? Human factors, how well am I able to interact with it? Handling 1 to 10, aesthetics 1 to 10, workshop page 1 to 10. The winners will be a points winner, captain's favorite, community favorite. Winners will be featured in the end credits of the videos for a month. Winners will have Discord roles added, and winners will have their fishing boat used on an episode of the Career Build series. So let's go ahead and take a look at the first boat. First boat is the Little Mirth fishing boat. So nice screenshot there. Our little thumbnail. Some good screenshots in here. Very nice to see. By Mr. Black Beaver. Little Mirth, under no circumstance should anyone repost this vehicle. General info: this is my fishing boat for Captain Conqueror's Build Challenge India to make a bigger fishing boat for less than 30k. It features systems like heading holds, 2 modes, made by me. The boat is very stable, can handle Arctic waves at 100% without sinking. It's very fuel efficient and easy to use. If you want a cheap moneymaker for early game, this is the boat for you. So nice little screenshot, or a nice little picture in there. Selling points: 15-cylinder supercharged engine, extremely good fuel economy, makes more money than it costs to run, handles very well for a small boat, less than 24,000, very easy to understand, operate, 125 fish capacity. 2 on-board fishing rods, dual-purpose engine explained in-depth description. Fits in beginner base without folding parts. Man overboard. In-depth description: this fishing boat spawnable in the beginner base for 23,750. It also supports 15-cylinder supercharged dual-purpose engine. You may ask, what's dual-purpose engine? The answer to the question: it has 2 uses, a main drive and an APU at the same time. Once battery charge gets too low in the boat, the engine will automatically kick on and run at pretty high RPS to recharge the battery, and will turn off once complete. Or if you wish, whilst in the APU mode, you could start the engine like normal and get going. I might optimize it further, add a small generator, possibly make this vessel able to recharge other boats if we'd like to add it. It also has bilge pumps in the engine room in case of leakage occurs and you need to pump out water. As far as I know, the boat also has all the correct marking lights, i.e. nav, mast, stern, lights need. Goes 11 knots at max speed, which may seem low, but keep in mind the fishing boat is purely meant for coastal fishing on a small scale. You can take it from the beginner Coast Guard, go to Little Bay near Lighthouse to the west of the beginner base, fish until full, and sell at Holt. This makes the boat a really good beginner fishing boat, as it is inexpensive, cheap to run, earns lots of money for early game, and can be used for fun as well, or if you want to do some small scale fishing. It also has a small anchor you can lift by hand and throw overboard to anchor the boat while fishing, and it is light enough to pull back on board once you want to get going again. It's also very stable, as it can be capsized from tsunamis or big waves, and it will right itself fairly quickly, so do not panic if it does capsize. Overall, I think the boat is a beginner-friendly vessel that is easy to use and can get your career rolling. Important note: you can find the fishing rods in the engine room on the walls. So let's go ahead and let's look at the boat. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll jump on board here. So startup checklist says go into the engine room, so we need to find that. So let's go on in. All right, engine room, where is that? Let's find it. Lower deck hatch. All right, that's good. That's labeled. All right, engine room. So we're in here. It says buttons are cut out if wanted. Engine start, unlock key. Okay, so right there. We'll leave the engine buzzer on. Engine start. All right, there we go. So we're up and running here. Checklist finish. Okay, let's go back up top. Let's grab the fishing rod while we're here. So we have a fishing rod on board. There we go. Alright, so going to the superstructure. Says nav lights if applicable, so yes, we are going to move, so we're going to put nav lights on. Alright, nav lights are on. Stern lights, yeah, I don't know, talking stern spotlight, or are you talking a stern nav light? Stern nav light needs to come on with the nav lights. Crane light, we don't need. Heater, we're good. Checklist finish. Okay, so we're not going to go into the heading hold. That's not part of the challenge or crane. All right, so let's go ahead, and that's pretty much it on instructions, so hopefully it's reasonable to understand here. So 1 is throttle up. So 2 is down on throttle, and 3 is, must be 0 the throttle. 80 is steering. Alright, so nice visibility out of here. We can see out the back a little bit there. We can see all around in here, which is good. Not a huge fan of that door clipping in there. That's a little bit visually problematic. Let's look at, try to see if we have an RPS in here. So diesel level there. We're not getting accurate diesel readings, but I'm mostly doing efficiency off. Is the engine screaming? Is it going to be burning an absolute massive amount of fuel? And this sounds good. This does not sound like it is utilizing too much fuel here. So, all right, so there's the RPS gauge. Looks good. So 355 RPM is pretty low. So that's good. So that's about 5. All right, so let's go ahead and stop. Go throw a rod in the water. This is a little bit dangerous there. I don't want to fall off, so let's go ahead and throw out our line here. Alright, so we've got a fish on board here, so we need to open up the fish hatch, and we're going to have to use the crane to do so. So let's go ahead and we'll read it again. We'll grab a rope. Need to drop the fishing rod. That's the problem, I think, with having the rod holder in the engine compartment and not up here is, you know, I have to drop that to put the rope on me. So, all right, let's see. We want to... All right, I have to do hardpoint disconnect. I read it, but I was fishing when I did it, so it did not really see too much. All right, so there is the fishing well there. So let's go ahead and we'll put the fish in. All right, good. So let's go ahead and quickly tour the ship. So let's look at it from the outside here. So I like the general design of it. I think it's cool that it is kind of a rear wheelhouse. I like the crane. The crane looks good. Has that manual winch, which is cool. Let's go ahead and I forgot to turn on 25% wind, so let's get that kicking. And we'll just drive it around a little bit in a second here, but let's go ahead and we'll continue looking at the exterior of this boat. So I really like the shape of it. It's a good shape here. It's proportional. Looks really nice. Yeah, I'm digging on it. Nice shape to it here. All right, so let's go ahead and we have the rope axis there. We have more over here. Okay. This is the manual anchor. I'm not going to go ahead and throw that in, but that's available. So nice design here. Let's go ahead and we'll go in the bridge. I'm not a huge fan of this clipping. You know, it kind of takes away from it, I think, seeing that shimmer there. I'm not a huge fan of that. And then it clips into the bed, too. So I'm not really a huge fan of clipping. But not a huge thing. But pretty well designed here. Nice paint scheme. Bunch of supplies down here. It looks like manual bilge pump. I'm not a huge fan of all this in here. Like, you know, this kind of takes me out of it. And makes me, you know, remember that I'm in a game. All this chunky block here. So either I would personally smooth that out, or I would have, you know, probably covered up. But really overall, really nice looking boat. Let's go take it just around really quickly and see how it handles. So 25% wind, it should have no problems here. Used to my own up-down throttle scheme here, so it's taking me a second to get used to it. So steers pretty well. A little bit slow in steering, but pretty realistic, you know. So I kind of tend to like a little bit more of a realistic feel. So let's go into the wind. Into the wind's kind of the hardest, you know, situation for, you know, in the game is the wind will try to pick up your boat. So handling really well. Looks really nice. Great boat, and thanks for submitting. And the next boat is the F.V. F.V.PiSeas offshore fishing vessel. So nice thumbnail here. Some nice screenshots. Good to see. Good to see. It's by Captain Leroy. LRM Marine. Nice. I like to see the branding. Welcome to Leroy Manufacturing. Today we're showcasing F.V.PiSeas. LRM first release in the new line of commercial fishing vessels. The Shoal Finder series, meant to be affordable but capable. F.V.PiSeas was built with the high seas in mind, manufactured with an automatic generator, live weather broadcast, and self-righting capabilities. This vessel is for all your career mode offshore fishing needs. Features self-righting hull design, non-stabilized, man overboard, anti-porpoise system, don't get left behind. Amenities include basic GPS autopilot, transponder locator, depth finder, 9-channel radio, and more. Nice picture here. Multiple seating options for crews or passengers. Medium holding bait tank, 125 max capacity fish or coal with fish gantry remote control relay. Automatic heater and Arctic gear for polar excursions. Automatic generator / washdown pump, no more dead batteries. LRM local weather service keeps up to date with current local weather changes via 3 onboard monitors, wheelhouse, bait, tank, and cabin. Sleeping quarters, head, and galley make for a cozy stay on the roughest seas. Equipment storage under bed, rope, defibrillator, medkits, etc. for all your unforeseen occurrences. Manual bilge pump with visual alarm. Hope you ate your Wheaties. Specifications, you can go ahead and read those. Just under the limit for 30 grand. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so let's go ahead and jump on board here. So it says board vessel, enter wheelhouse. All right, so we'll go ahead into the wheelhouse here. All right, it says enable lighting as necessary. So let's look. We have nav lights coming on. Work lights and deck lights we don't need. Let's go ahead and look around here. Depth finder, transponder locator, GPS autopilot, wheelhouse light. Let's turn that on as well. Okay, grab the helm, start the engine. Okay, let's see. Engine on off right there. All right. Verify no fuel contamination. Okay, let's see. Return to deck. Release moorings. Okay, we don't need to. Navigate vessel away from mooring. Okay, set. Okay. All right, so we're good to go. Just WS here pushes up the throttle. So we're going to go ahead and we'll take a turn right into the wind here. And we'll look at the general look of the vessel. So, a little bit more pointed of shape underneath. Some bunch of scuppers on there. Handling the waves fine here. Have a single screw. Nice F.V.PiSeas there. Alright, good. Alright, so let's go ahead and we'll bring the throttle back. Alright, good. So let's go ahead and need to find a fishing rod here. So let's go downstairs while we're here. Look at the living quarters. So I like the stove here. Stove is fun with some burners there. That is really cool. I like all the utensils in the back there. Little seating area here. We have the bed, table, manual bilge. Use if red light is flashing, which there's not, but we're just testing it out. Alright, good. So little living quarters right underneath there. Generator. Alright, so up in a lot of boats, fishing boats will have their rods up on the ceiling here, so that's where our rods are, so good. Oh, I am caught, so let's grab it. Alright, let's get a fish. Alright, so we're not going to go into the autopilot, as that's not part of the challenge. So I'll kind of look around while I'm doing this, so let's go ahead and let me fish here whilst I look at the boat. So, really nice detailing here. So we have a bunch of seats out here, kind of like it was a commercial fishing, kind of a charter boat. It looks like a medium hopper there for fish storage. So that gives us plenty of storage. Big old anchor on the front. We have a registration there, which is kind of nice to see. Do we have a stern light? Yep, that's counted as our stern light there. All right, good. Do we have a fish on? I don't think we do. So let's try to get a fish. So generally, I like the design of this. Looks a little bit more like a commercial boat, which it's supposed to be. Let's see what's in here. So, okay, there's the head. So, how do you enter the head? Oh my God, it's under the stairs. You got to lay down and crawl on the floor to get in the head. That's pretty funny. So that's how you get in your head. So that's pretty neat to have a head under here. And then we have the engine room back here. So a lot of crawling in this boat. That's That would be interesting. You have to bring an extra change of clothes. Alright, so I'm going to bring this in so we're good on fish there. Holding tank would hold fish. Alright, so this is a really cool boat. Thanks for sharing it. And the next boat is the Fisherman 1000 fishing boat. So just the one picture. I like to see a nice thumbnail. I like to see some screenshots. So pretty basic there. It was by no name yet. MandaVR, man of many names. Fisherman 1000, built for Challenge India by Captain Cockles. Specifications, max speed 40, fuel capacity 9,000 liters. That's a lot of fuel. Price $29,500, two-cylinder 3x3. Wow, that is a huge engine. At 8 RPS max, that's going to be interesting what that gets for fuel burn. Our features: fire detection system, auto cooling, every microcontroller made by me. Good to see. That was part of the challenge. Onboard fish storage, 7 rods, emergency equipment for rescue, 7 seats, including helm, large deck, etc. How to use: turn on power breaker in front of the electricity. We'll go over that when we get in there. So pretty basic compared to the other workshop pages, but let's go ahead and we'll take a look at the build. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll jump on board here. It says turn on power breaker in the front of the. All right, I think it's electrician seat. Wow, we got a lot of seats in here. Which one's that? Are they labeled? There it is, electrician right there. Okay, power breaker's on. Go to helm and press trigger, space button to start the engine. Okay, engine is up. And then throttle up slowly. Okay, how do I throttle up? With this one here. Okay, WS. WS does control it. Whoa, holy mother. Okay. So that is very interesting here. So handling is not great. Pretty rolly. Definitely on the cartoony end here with you know, the rudder down there and the enormous propeller there and a 3x3. It's got some bow thrusters on there. Pretty basic on the shaping here. You can see it's pretty much pretty boxy. You know, definitely more on the cartoony end here. But let's go ahead and see if I can stop us here. Alright, so let's go ahead and I want to look at this engine here. But this is probably on the... Ooh, that's super clippy. You know, so big 3x3, I think that's pretty excessive. You know, especially for something that's supposed to be fuel efficient. This, I would say this is definitely burning some fuel. It's supercharged 3x3. Definitely an excessive amount of fuel burn. So, not a huge fan of this clipping. It's not my favorite. We have rods here, here, so plenty of rod storage. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this clipping here. You know, it takes me out, especially you have an orange door contrasting with all that. I'm not a huge fan of clipping at all. Can I see the door if I go down here? Yeah, see the door clips through. I'm not a huge fan of that at all. What's in here? Yeah, microcontrollers. Like something like that. I could get going in there to repair stuff, but you know, often I would just close that off if it's not a decorated space. All right, let's go ahead and throw a rod in, but pretty basic shape design. Stability's a little bit iffy, and I can't imagine it's all that fuel efficient with a 3x3. You know, I'll quickly check the if I can get down there and check the RPS. But I got a fish coming toward right now. See if we can get him on board. All right, there's a fish. Let's reel him in. All right, good. So we got a sea halibut. Let's stick that in there. All right, so I'm going to try to see if I can kind of get some notion of what's going on with the fuel burn here. You have no RPS on here, so I have no way to really, like, check on this engine. Let's see if these gauges here. Generator output. Like, see, this gauge is not indexed. Yes, I don't know. See how this gauge is just kind of like freewheeling? That could probably be indexed a little bit better. Engine's running pretty rough here. As you can see, it's kind of jumpy. Going up to 8, you know, it's at 8 RPS, so that makes sense. But 8 RPS on a 3x3, you know, to put it in perspective, the first boat was running, what were we doing? I think 350 RPM, is 5.8 RPS, and that was a 1x1, so that was at 5.8 RPS. So this is probably pretty marginal on fuel efficiency. But, you know, we'd have to run around. That's 9,000 liters. You know, we can't get an accurate reading on this, unfortunately. But, interesting boat, and thanks for submitting it. And the next boat here is the BT Coastman 150 Career Sport Fishing Boat. So a really nice thumbnail here, as you can see. Branding, really well composed, nice. Let's look at that first picture. I like these pictures too. So really good branding here. You know, it seems like a commercial, so this is a really good job on this workshop page here. Really nice pictures there. And this is by Bigman. This is the Coastman 150, a boat I built that I've been using on my Tycoon series on YouTube. Tycoon series right there. Coastman features a lot of simple-to-use systems designed to make fishing in the world of Stormworks that more easy. How to use. Enter the cabin, sit down. We'll go through that inside. We have a nice bit of information here. So it only costs $15,539, which is nice. That's about half the price of the Max. Fuel on spawn, kind of compare that to the last build. Last build had 9,000 liters. This one has 411. Full throttle is 35 knots. Cruise speed 23 at 80% throttle. Fish storage 54. It's a good size for a small boat. Seating 1+6. A YouTube video on there. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the build. All right, so it says enter the cabin, sit down. So let's go ahead and do that. Sits a little bit low in the water here, but that could be just because of the 25% waves. So we're going to go ahead and sit down in the seat here. Turn on the engine, ignition key, and the screen switch. So let's see. Engine ignition right there. Heater, screens, and dash systems. Nice. Okay. Use WASD. The one keybind switches into reverse as shown by the indicator on your dashboard. Sticky throttle adds to your WASD, so if you remain full control while using the system, up-down axis will let you adjust sticky throttle. Okay, let's go ahead, start to maneuver out. So pretty maneuverable in here. I can maneuver it out with little problem. So I like the little branding there. Outboard, good to see an outboard. Outboards can be challenging to design. I made one myself the other day. So let's turn into the wind here. So so up down we'll do sticky throttle, and WS does reset throttle. A little bit wobbly, but not too bad. Let's go ahead. We'll maneuver it a little bit, but we're going right into the wind here. A little bit of trim would be nice, just to pick the or to push the bow down a little bit maybe. You know, it's a little bit sitting bow high. It doesn't get up on plane, but not a big deal. I can still see. You know, the big thing with getting on plane is making sure you can still see out there, and I can still see the horizon pretty well. So let's go ahead and we'll turn. Doing a good, that was, you know, showing 53 knots. That's because we're going into the wind as well. So if we do a chasing sea, we'll see what the speed says here. So as you can see, we're going much slower with a chasing sea, which makes perfect sense. Following sea, rather, not chasing sea. Let's go ahead and look. So we have 600 RPM. So definitely seems a little bit more reasonable of a engine than the last time, the last one. What are we looking at there? Yep, so 1x1, running at a pretty reasonable rate there. So let's go ahead and we'll stop. Let's go take a quick little tour here. So we have a microwave, very cool to see. Microwave, oh, that's nice. Raise the bench. We have a retractable bench, that's cool. All right, what's under here? We have a bed. That's mains, okay. Okay, the mains started on. I just shut it off for a second, so let's make sure I didn't kill anything. No, I think I turned it off and on fast enough. All right, so a bunch of stuff here for probably autopilot. There's the throttle over there, backup compass. What is retract engine? That interests me. Ah, that's the raise engine. Copy, that's cool. That's a neat feature for an outboard. You can raise the engine. For trailerage. All right, nice. So let's go ahead. I'm going to shut that door out of an abundance of caution. Where is the fishing rod? So there's a spear gun on this side and fishing rods right here. Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and we'll put one in the drink. All right, and right behind me here we have the storage. So as you can see here, it's a little bit on the tippy side here. So yeah, we can kind of see we have a little bit of a stability problem here. you know, with me standing on that side. I'm floating, so might need to run the bilge pump. It took the fishing rod out of my hand. So let me see if I can get a fish here before the ocean tries to take me. So really nice design here. It is a little bit unstable. As you can see, it's kind of listing. Maybe a little bit more ballasting to get it to weigh out a little bit. But, you know, not the end of the world, but it is a little bit unstable on that axis when we're stopped. It's more stable when we're going. That would probably be because of fins, but not all that stable while we're sitting here. So let's go ahead and see if we get a fish. We've got a fish on, so let's reel it in. Oh, and he escaped. Because of the waves here, I fell in the water and the fish came off. So that's not great. It seems like it's sitting a little low in the water, and so wow. So I need to stand right in the middle, or else this is going to have problems. But it's a little bit tippy. That's my only real issue with it, is it's tippy, and so it was tipping so much that I was kind of losing the fish there. But really great build. Looks really good. Nice fuel efficient. I really like the outboard. Overall design is really cool. And thanks for submitting it. And the next boat here is the Koi King Coastal Crusader. So nice thumbnail here. A little bit of branding on there. Dual outboards. A little bit of depiction of what the different areas on the dash are here. Some nice pictures by Glacialan. Welcome to the next fishing vessel for the Koi King line of boats, the Coastal Crusader, Crusader for short. This is a bare-bones ship that is easy to use, features as well as a fairly large capacity of fish storage. Specification 17.3. Fuel, we're talking 8, 9 and change. Engine outboard 2, or storage capacity 81 fish. Average speed 28 knots. We'll go through the startup procedures in there, and it was made for my challenge. So let's go ahead and take a look at the build. All right, so toggle cooling systems. All right, and then turn starting key. W will throttle up. Steer will be AD. Okay, let's stand by. I have not touched anything yet, so let's bring this back. I have not touched anything, so let's respawn it fresh, and let's see what it does here. So, toggle cooling systems. Okay, turn starting key. Okay, so it is moving on its own. That's interesting. I don't know why it's moving on its own. That's not good. So, let's get in the seat here. Why are you moving on your own, boat? Yeah, so it is moving on its own. So that's not good. Let's see. Spotlight. How would one put this in reverse is the question, too. Yeah, so I don't know how the clutch is being controlled, but it, like, literally, I've not pressed a button, and it's, I've not pressed the W key, and it is moving forward. So let's go ahead. I don't know how to put it in reverse. I'm pressing S, can't put it in reverse. The H menu is not filled out. I'm getting no H menu here. So let's go ahead and we'll go forward here. So it's a really nice looking boat. I like the look of it. I like the twin outboards. It's maneuvering and behaving pretty well here. Looks like these are hard connected outboards, so they're not pivoting. It just probably has a rudder somewhere. Yeah, it has a rudder in the center. So looks like outboards, but they're not pivoting. So let's check the handling here. So let's go into the wind. So handling really well. Well, except for the part that it kind of moves on its own. So it's not sticky throttle, but you see it moves on its own. So that's not great. It should stop, and I have no clue how to put it in reverse. I can start playing with buttons, I guess. There's no, plenty of space on the workshop page for to tell me how to put it in reverse. I've gone through 1 through 6, and I pressed the space bar. Nothing on there. Pressing the S key. You can see me pressing the S key. Can't get it in reverse, so I don't know how I reversed this boat. So little bit lacking on description there, and no H menu, and I don't know how to put it in reverse. So that's interesting. Not sure about all that. Let's grab a fishing rod and let's fish. But it looks really nice. Good detailing on the boat there. Has a nice wood decking. I really like the detail of the outboards. You know, they are using a rudder just so they're aesthetic mostly. Let's see if we can walk around. So let's look in here. What do we have in there? So there's the live well. All right, so we can catch a fish here. We can go ahead and use the live well. Let's see if we have a fish on yet. There's one coming to it right there. So let's see if we can get this fish. But yeah, the boat's moving on its own, so that's not great. You know, that's not really great human factors. It should be, you know, I should be commanding it, and we'll see if we can get a fish here. Hopefully we're not moving too fast for fish. Because we could be moving too fast for fish here, so let's see. Let's watch these fish. So we're moving too fast for the fish to catch up. So I can't slow down the boat. Maybe I'll go in again, but the boat is moving so fast that I can't catch fish. So like I'm literally holding down the S key. You can see me holding down the S key. And I can't get it to do it. So I'll stop us, but I can't just idle the boat. So that's not great. So I'll stop the boat and I'll catch a fish. So I don't know what's up with that, but no idea how I put it in reverse if I can. And the boat just starts kind of moving on its own, so that's not great. All right, now we can get a fish that we stopped. All right, so we'll reel this fish in here and then stick them in the live well, and then we'll be good. But the boat looks great. Just needs some work on the drive system. You know, the boat should not start moving on its own. You should be in control of it. So it's probably a clutch issue, and I have no clue how to put it in reverse. I pressed buttons 1 through 6. I pressed the space bar. The H menu is not filled out, and the workshop page was pretty basic. So a little bit of work there on, you know, let me know how to control it. But really cool looking boat, and we'll move on to the next one. All right, and the next one here is the RHI small fishing boat. So a nice thumbnail here, a few pictures. This is by Raptor. All right, so nice detailing on the workshop page here. So we'll go through this operation stuff when we go in there. I'll read that as we're in there. It says it costs exactly $30,000 on the nose. 2 one-cylinder supercharged 3x3. Wow. I don't. So that's two 3x3s. That is huge. That's a lot. 2,000 liters of fuel. That's a lot of engine for this. So we'll see if this is probably going to lose some points on economics if it's that. But we'll see how it runs. We'll see what the RPS is. So that's kind of important. So let's go ahead and we'll take a look. All right, so let's go ahead and jump on. It says startup. Flip the breaker on the left wall of the cabin to on. Okay, so left wall of the cabin. So let's go inside to the cabin. Go this way. All right. Breaker on the left wall of the cabin. Okay, that's power there. Something lifted up there. Switch engine 1 and 2 to on. Okay, let's find those. Engine 1 and 2. Okay. Boat is now on. WS throttle AD rudder. Okay, so first thing I notice is the boat is not moving itself, so that's good to see. AD's rudder. Throttle locks at 0, going both ways. So I know it's probably a bit of irony in the title, but it said small fishing boat, and this is, I think, the biggest one. This is a pretty big boat here. As you can see, not much of a stability system in there, as it is doing a big old pitch up here, and needs a little bit of a trim system. That would be kind of nice to see. So let's go ahead, and I'm very curious about the fuel efficiency of this, as we have 2 3x3s, which is pretty large. So that's, yeah, we're at 8 RPS with 2 3x3s, so we're in the same neighborhood as Manda's boat, where we're gonna be burning a lot of fuel here. That's gonna be a lot of fuel. You know, as you can see, we start with 2,000 liters of fuel. This thing's gonna be burning a lot of fuel. So let's go down there. I want to look. Let's look around the boat. We'll just leave it running here. Could use a stability system, as you can see here. So this is a very big boat. Not much detailing, as you can see. We can see like we have all jagged walls in here. Be kind of nice to smooth out those walls. I'm stuck here. I got a duck to get down. Curtains look cool. I would kind of detail some of this wall here. As you can see, it's very jagged and very gamey, cartoony. Pretty basic looking down here. Some good detailing, but it's pretty basic looking. Let's turn on that. Yeah, big engines, very big engines. So I don't know what this thing's gonna be burning a lot of fuel. So I don't know if this is really all that fuel efficient here. Like here's my, is that a fuel pump? Let's check the, let's see if this is where the fuel is. That looks like coolant. All right, right here. This is the fuel pump. So let's see what it's blowing for fuel. All right, it's not showing me, but it's this thing's got to be burning a lot of fuel here. Yeah, I can't imagine this is all that fuel efficient with 2 3x3s. You know, it's supposed to be a small fishing boat. This thing is huge. So I'm thinking this is not all that fuel efficient. So let's go ahead and we'll bring the thrust down. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll just leave it idle and we'll go fishing. So a bunch of rooms in this. This is definitely, I would say, on the larger side. Again, it was supposed to be a small fishing boat. It's pretty big. It fits within the build area, but it is still pretty big. We can, let's say at the very best case, we can catch and reel in maybe, all travel times included, maybe 1 fish per minute. So you're talking, $100. And so, it's going to take a lot to justify the fuel cost of this probably. So let's do some exterior detail look here. So a bunch of deck detailing there. We have a winch. We have a couple of wells here. Bunch of stuff going on here. So good detailing out here. Just the boat is very, very large. I don't know if it fits the bill for a small boat. And it definitely... With 2 3x3s, I really don't think it's going to be all that fuel efficient, but cool boat, and thanks for sharing. And the next boat is the D17 Round Boat for Fishing, Special Livery for Fishing Contest, India. So it's cool. It's looks like a cup of cake. Pretty basic little thumbnail there, but it's still good to not have the frame on there. Cool design here. Looks like a cup of cake. And I always like to see the real example of what these things are really, based off of. So this is a little fishing donut, and you just use a little electric trolling motor to get out there. So pretty cool there. By floating text, V4 1x1. So again, to put it in perspective, the last boat had 2 1-cylinder 3x3s running at 8 RPS. This has a 4-cylinder 1x1. So you can kind of see the difference in what the fuel economy is going to be on this. Max 54 fish, 2 seats. What is this thing? It's a round boat, a cheap and effective platform for recreational fishing trips. The main idea behind the shape is if you sit in the middle, no matter which way you cut a fish pull, you'll be equally stable. The Stormworks version is substantially bigger than most IRL boats. That's because due to block size, you can simply not get much without sacrificing stability or fuel. Grab the handlebar, press 6 to start-stop the engine. Engine has a man overboard safety. If you let go of the handle, the engine will stop. Press W and S to go forward, backwards. Engine will rev up, and clutch and reverse gear will be operated automagically. Nice. For your comfort. Please note, the boat is really meant for small trips. It's fuel efficient, but only has a medium tank. Take care. The boat is equipped. Well, that's exactly what this challenge is. This challenge is to go just out very short distances and to come back with fish. So that's good. Boat is equipped with more than enough gear for any catastrophic event during your fishing trip. From several boo-boo kits to even a spear gun if you manage to encounter a sea beast. Company won't take responsibility for injuries caused by sea monsters. You should avoid them. You can store 2 fishing rods in the vehicle so you can bring a buddy or a son to make great memories. The biggest catches together. 80 steering, WS engine throttle. Trigger cuts all the ropes. Headphone warning. I just include this because why not? 4 is activate transponder, and 6 is stop engines. Microcontrollers. On the ECU, you can turn off the man overboard kill switch and tinker with the various RPS values of the engine, though I'm not recommending it. So, pretty good workshop page. Let's go ahead and take a look at the build. All right, here we are with the old cupcake. So let's go ahead and jump on board. Press 6 to start up. All right, WSAD. So let's take a look at it. So it's pretty funny. Have a little cupcake build here. It's kind of neat under here. So definitely unique and different. But, again, it fits the bill for being a small fishing boat. A small economical fishing boat. I think this cost sub $8,000. And it has a medium fuel tank. It has a small 4-cylinder engine. That's going to make this really economical. So again, if we come out here, let's go ahead. I'm just going to go into the wind here really quickly. You know, it's pretty much symmetrical and round, so it shouldn't have any stability problems here. It should pretty much sit the same. And it's nice and wide, so yep, no problems here. You know, it's on the slower end, but again, the challenge was not to make a speed demon. The challenge was to make an economical boat. So, you know, some people I think went for bigger engines to get more speed. Well, the challenge wasn't for speed. The challenge was, you know, part of the challenge was to make it economical. Again, you're fishing. You can only get so many fish per hour, so you don't want to make it so that it, you know, you lose money doing this. So, plenty of rods on here. Got a lot of the necessary supplies, so let's go ahead and take a cast. We have fish storage in the middle, so I like this little boat. It fits the bill. It's more in line than some of the other ones with the challenge. You know, there are a couple that I think were a little bit on the fuel problematic end. You know, and so you'd always have to worry about, am I burning so much fuel that I have to catch an insane number of fish to justify it. But as you can see, at $7,000, this, when you start a new career game, you have 20 grand. So you could come out in this boat and you could catch some fish. And because it's only has a 4-cylinder 1x1 running at really not that very high RPS, you know, you should be able to make a nice profit here. So there's a fish in the well. So very cool boat. I love the I love the cupcake design. Really simple but effective, and it follows what the challenge is supposed to be about, which is a small economical fishing boat. So really cool build, and thanks for submitting it. Right, and the next build is the Bosman Oleg. So a little bit of a basic picture here, but nice to see no frame. Just two simple pictures here. It'd be nice to see a little bit more there by Sens. Pretty basic workshop page here. We have just some very basic info here. Fuel tank, 12 liters, max speed, 46 kilometers an hour, mass 5780, cost 23,000. Use the power output panel to fine-tune the speed. 3 small fish hoppers, advanced navigation, fuel flow meter, WASD controls. So pretty basic here, so let's hope the operation is basic as well. All right, let's go ahead and test out this build. It's a pretty unconventional engine setup, so we gotta hopefully the diesel kicks on. Let's go ahead and check the H menu. Let's go start engine. So it has a 2-cylinder 3x3, so again, it's getting pretty big on the engine size. I think it's diesel electric, so we'll have to see. I'm going to have to go down and see what this engine's doing. It has to be either diesel or steam, so it can be diesel electric, but it can't just be electric, so you have to see what's going on here. So starting to turn, it's pretty slow turning, not really all that maneuverable. It looks like it's doing asymmetrical thrust for turning, which I'm trying to look at the propeller blades here. Maybe not. I don't know how this rudder is. There's no rudder that I can see. Let's see. Up, down is power output. Let's increase that then. Okay. So I'm going up here. Let's see if we can get this going. I'm interested in what's going on here. Not much instructions. Okay, so up, down. So you have to throttle up with up, down first, and then you can go ahead and do the WS. So it's probably prop pitch is WS. Again, some workshop page, some instructions are always helpful. Looks like it's doing asymmetrical prop pitch, which is fine for turning. A little bit slow to turn. Like I've been holding the D key the whole time here, so handling's a little bit tough. You can see how big the turning circle is here. I'm gonna let it run for a little bit. I want to see what. Okay, I can't. I'm gonna have to trim in W here to get going. All right, so I'm trimming in W. I'm gonna go down there. I want to see what this engine's doing. All right, so let's see. So we're at 9 RPS with a 3x3. So this is on the very. This is using quite a bit of fuel compared to some of the other builds. Again, you're being compared to your competitors, who some of them, you know, were running. You know, they're running 4-cylinder 1x1s. This is a 2-cylinder 3x3. So, you know, we got a generator there. All right, so let's do a little tour down here. We'll go down here. So a couple of beds, pretty simple down here. A little bit of equipment. little bit of equipment there. Pretty simple, again, small, simple boat. Let's go ahead up top, if I can. All right, we'll grab the helm. All right, let's look around in here. So a bunch of gauges and stuff. Not really testing that too much, so let's go ahead and I will stop us here. All right, let's go ahead and we'll go fishing, and we'll take a look at the boat around. So need to find a fishing rod right there. Bingo, easy to find. All right, so that's in the water. Let's go ahead and we will look at the exterior of the boat while I fish. A couple of live wells there to put the fish in. Got one here. I don't know why the seats are right up against them, but pretty nice shape to the hull here. I like that. Pretty good paint job here. Some good detailing on that. Let's go ahead and grab this fish. But pretty cool boat. Pretty, reasonably unconventional drive system, but it's something different and unique. It suffers a little bit in handling because it can't turn all that well because of it, but still a pretty cool boat. So thanks for a minute, and we'll move on to the next one. And the next build here is the KATTEGAT. All right, do some work on the thumbnail here. Pretty basic with just the frame still on there. Bunch of screenshots, though. That's good to see. By Tourtch. The KATTEGAT small trawler built for my challenge. Feature stern to bow, net prepared. Yeah, I'm not doing nets, so a medium hopper. Access hatch for the engine bay, fishing gear, a manual winch for pulling the net. We're not talking about the nets. Transmitter for fish gantry, that's cool, so you can use the vacuum. Fishing rod, spear gun with ammo, fish counter, and net depth. Not interested in net depth. Fire extinguishers, refueling point, and shore power, working lights, nav lights, anchor light, interior light. Could use some work on this workshop page. Just a little bit like just long list, and a little bit of composition would be nice. Refueling point, working lights, nav lights, anchor light, interior light. Okay. Yeah, it's just kind of a long list. It's not really formatted as well as some of your competitors. How to use: step in cabin, grab helm, flip master, turn ignition. Again, these are better in a list here. Numbered list for steps is always better than a paragraph. Step in cabin, grab helm, flip master, turn ignition, press start button until buzzer stops. AD steering WS for telegraph. For forward and reverse, the boat is equipped with a dead man switch. If you fall off, you must restart the boat. All right, max cruise 15 knots, max speed 25 knots. That's a lot of fuel, 3,400 liters of diesel, so hopefully don't use it too much. But let's go ahead and get started. It's pretty basic instructions here, so let's go ahead with those. So step in cabin, grab helm, flip master switch. So let's find that. Master switch, okay. Turn ignition, press start button. Until buzzer stops. AD for steering, WS for telegraph. Okay. We'll start going forward. So we have nav lights. Let's turn those on. So I got a feeling this one's already going to be a little bit tough on fuel. Let's look at it. 680 RPM. So that's going to be 11 on a 3x3. I think it's a 2-cylinder 3x3. Let's go ahead and see if I can see it. We'll go jump down there and see it. Well, that's pretty high on fuel comparatively. Again, it's being compared to its competitors, so we'll go ahead and take a look. But let's check maneuverability here. So pretty maneuverable, pretty square, pretty basic, blocky design, but I like the paint job on it. Handles well. A little bit cartoony handling, but it's not bad. It handles well. It's nice and stable. You saw some of them were not as stable as this, so this is nice and stable. Could use with a little bit of a, it's a little bit pitched up with some bow pitch, so it could use a little trim. Let's go ahead and we'll slow down and stop here. But yeah, that's probably a pretty high fuel usage with 3x3. I think it's a 2-cylinder 3x3. Let's go in reverse. Let's see, does that put us in reverse? It should. Yeah, it's got us in reverse. I don't know if we're actually reversing, though. It is. I think it's just slow. Yeah, I don't know what's up with reverse here. Not getting much in reverse. Okay, let's just zero out. We'll do a little bit of a tour here. So, it's a nice detailing in here. I like the detailing in here. Looks pretty good. some objects. We got like some drinks and stuff. Let's go down here. Nice curtains in here. A little bit of room in here. Stove tops. That's neat. Engine room light, table light, kitchen light. A little bit of clipping there. Not a big fan of clipping. Again, we have a big 3x3 here, so this is probably going to be a little bit heavy on fuel, as you can imagine. Running 3x3, but not too bad. Alright, so let's go ahead and we'll look for fishing rods and we'll go fishing. So there's a fishing rod right there. Alright, and we'll throw one out. Let's take a look at the boat while we fish. So definitely pretty square, pretty blocky. Could use a little bit of refinement, I think, but runs pretty well. Nice and stable and turns well. But definitely a little bit on the cartoony end of the spectrum here. Let's go see if we've caught a fish. There's a fish right there. Okay, good. So let's reel that in. But nice little boat. Works pretty well. A little bit of work on the workshop page, maybe. A little bit. The instructions weren't too bad, but they're kind of buried in a paragraph. So pretty cool little boat, and thanks for submitting it. And the next build is the Trigon Go Fish boat. So small hopper or small boat with hopper. If I could read, that'd be great. A couple pictures here, so a little bit basic compared to some of the other competitors. By Phil, a rather small, situationally stable ship that can barely carry a small empty hopper and a fishing rod. The pungent livery and dainty cover hatch clearly demarcate it from the old starter boat. Stat speed 20 knots, mass 444, fuel 125 liters, cost 6 grand. So nice and cheap. That fits the bill for being a nice, small, affordable boat. Flip the electric circuit breaker to the left of the control seat and flip the flip switch on the center instrument panel. Start throttle is reset. Be prudent when steering in reverse. The boat lists a little to the right when seated to compensate for the estimated 16 full weight difference when the player is out of the seat. Remain between the seats to keep the vessel from capsizing when pondering on deck. Designed for my challenge. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the build. All right, so definitely nice to see some small boats. We got a couple here that fit with the small boat, with the theme of a small fishing boat. So let's go ahead and jump on here. So it says flip the electrical breaker to the left of the control seat. So let's find that right there. Okay, that's good. And flip the switch on the center instrument panel to start. So right there. All right, good. It's reset. So WSAD. So AD steering, WS throttle. Nice to see a filled out H menu. Up, down, elevate, spotlight, ship bell. One is reverse, so we'll test that out. So good speed here. So doing 19 knots. Engine's not screaming. Do we have a RPS gauge? We do. So 12 on a 1x1. That's not bad. Go. We're into the wind. Let's go around. We'll go with a following sea here. Maneuvers pretty well. A little bit tippy, but not terrible. But maneuvers pretty nicely here. All right, let's go ahead and we'll put it in reverse here. So I said be careful in reverse. So definitely, reverse is a little bit ugly here. Definitely a little bit ugly in reverse there. Makes it tough to reverse it, so. Alright, so we'll go ahead and we'll shut off reverse. I'll throw away my flashlight here. Alright, what I'm going to do here is we need to find a fishing rod. Where is the fishing rod here, Phil? I brought one with me, but it's supposed to have one on the boat. So where is the fishing rod on the boat? Okay, we need a fishing rod on this boat. That was part of the requirements here. Not bringing a fishing rod with me. It's supposed to be on the boat. Let's see if I can find it. It might be in one of these side lockers. Let me see. It's hard to tell because of the water here. I don't see any fishing rod here, so I'm going to just use the one that I brought with me. Probably ding a point on that. It's supposed to have it with it. But let's see. I'll take the one that I have with me. So again, this is a small boat, so what we can do is we can sit in the seat and fish. So we're in the padded seat, so Nothing wrong with that being that it is a tiny boat. You expect just like a canoe, you're not going to be standing around and jumping up and down. So there's a fish on right there. Where are we storing the fish here? Let's keep that in mind as well. That's the hopper, it looks like, maybe behind me. I'm just looking at some stuff under here. Kind of a weird rudder setup. I lost the fish here when I went into the third person, so let's go. Catch a fish. Need to find a place to put this fish here. So, says it has a hopper on, so we'll see if it's hidden in there. Alright, fish is nibbling. Let's see if we can get one to strike and bite. Alright, there we go. So let's reel this fish in. Now let's store it. Definitely, it needs to have a rod holder. I'm going to check for it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's going on? Are we literally being pulled by the fish? Out of my seat? What is going on here? That is interesting for handling. Let's see if the fish can pull us over. If fish can pull us over, that's kind of problematic, seeing I'm sitting in the seat, so. A little bit of a handling problem. So it's got some handling problems. It's definitely tippy, and it's, you know, going in reverse, we had issues. I'm going to let this fish pull us. Oh, my God, look at that. So the fish can pull the boat over, which is not great. Yeah, see, it's because the problem is as soon as I hit the water, I lose the fish. So let's try it one more time. You know, if the fish pulls me over, I really can't reel it in. Plus, there's no rod on here, so that's kind of problematic. I'll see if I can find a rod in the workbench, but I didn't see it. You know, it's because it's a little bit waterlogged here. So watch what happens. That's me trying to reel in a fish here. So let's turn on player damage. Do I die trying to catch a fish here? Yep, so that's kind of a problem here. We're having some stability problems with this boat here, as you can see. So, all right, the boat is now upside down. So yeah, it definitely has some handling problems. Let's check and see if we have a rod on this when I bring it in the workbench. Could be in here. So let's open it. Again, it's, you know, a little bit more workshop page to tell me where things are too. So there's the hatch. Okay, rod's right here. Perfect. So the rod is in here, and we have fish storage here. So definitely has some stability issues. You know, that's one of the drawbacks of making a small boat, you know, too small, is, you know, I've been making a lot of small creations lately myself, and it requires a lot of engineering to be able to get them to work well. So, you know, we'll have to take that in consideration. But cool build, and thanks for submitting. All right, let's take a look at the next workshop page. So this is the C Nautikstar 2420S, or Oscar Sierra fishing boat. I really like this thumbnail. This is a cool thumbnail. So some nice detailing here. You know, you can tell it's had a little bit of work done. Nice branding on here. The model number really looks cool. Some nice pictures. So really cool screenshots here. Very nice. This is by Citrus. Nautikstar 242 Oscar Sierra. So it looks like it is Oscar Sierra. This is my submission for my challenge, India, where we're tasked to build an economically viable fishing boat for less than $30, and it had to fit within the starter area. I chose to build this boat based on the Nautikstar 242 Oscar Sierra. By no means a one-by-one, it's just deeply inspired. The range is estimated to be around 40 kilometers plus. Don't take it for granted. It's not meant to be a long-range boat. It's meant to stay close to coast and fish. For the challenge, specs with 30 knots, 320-liter fuel capacity. Again, the more reasonable fuel capacity, some of them are up to like 9,000 liters. Specifications, 30 knots, fuel capacity, 320 liters, 12-cylinder outboard, cool to see an outboard, 5 passenger seats, 25 fish storage. We have a mass of 1,250 and it costs around 9,000. So some nice pictures here showing us how to start. I like to see a numbered start list. This is much easier than the paragraphs. Some people are using, so it shows us where all the parts are too. That's really nice on a workshop page. You know, I know that enable battery circuit, right where it is. Open fuel valve, right where it is. Turnkey, right where it is. And, you know, stall auto start, flip switch, or engine start push button right there. Manufacturer recommendations: use 0.85 throttle for good speed and fuel efficiency, rated up to 50% wind. Do not use max throttle at high wind scenarios. Let's go ahead and take a look at the build. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the next build. So really good workshop page on this. I love that it had a picture showing me where all the parts were that I have to do to get this thing started. Also, you know, it has a really nice list. It makes it easy for me to look over here and read it. So, for example, it's got a picture right where the electric breaker is, makes that really easy to find. So, step 2 in a numbered list, it has where the fuel valve is, so we can easily find that. It's back by the engine. That is on. All right, next thing we want to do is we'll get on the helm and we can do the key. All right, we have two options. We can engine start or we can engine stall auto start. So we'll put it on stall auto start. So if it stalls, it will auto restart. Looking at the H menu, AD, WS, so real simple. So this one, let's put it right in the wind, full throttle, 30 knots, really, really nice here. No issues. It's sitting nice and flat. We don't have the bow really high. The outboards can be challenging, so let's do a full 360 and see how it performs. Really, really nice here. So I'm holding all the way to the left with A here. You notice the boat's not excessively rolling. Really, really stable. I like that a lot. Really nice hull design here. Shaped well. It's very petite, you know, in height, which can be a challenging game. So if we bring the thrust back here, let's bring it back to 0. And if we put it in 0 here, you notice that because it's pretty thin in game, we need a little bit of thicker hull just because of buoyancy. So you see, we get a little bit of wash on deck. I really don't count that against anyone. That's kind of a game thing, so I'm not a big, you know, I don't give anybody crap with that. You know, because I don't allow glitches in this challenge, I kind of don't worry about that too much. So that looks pretty good. I really love the design of this. Really beautifully well designed. You know, we have some XML windows in here. Really nice shape of the boat itself. Really well detailed. Like this little bit of detail, like little step-ups here is really cool. So I really like that. That's really cool. And it performs really, really well as an outboard. So let's go ahead and open the hatch here. So there's our fish well. I need to find a rod right there. Beautiful. Right where one might think it would be. Let's go throw one out. While that's out, let's go ahead and we'll take a look at the boat. So really cool. I like the paint job. This is cool. Kind of has a pastel blue, teal. Really well done here. It looks like there's some shading on there. A little bit of different coloration. A true outboard that, you know, rotates. It's not kind of faked with a rudder. There's nothing wrong with that, but, you know, it takes more skill to be able to do that, so you definitely get some cool points for that. But really, really well done. I like the little stand-up cabin here. Very cool. Center console, rather. Let's go ahead and bring this fish in. But you could tell the engine wasn't screaming at me. It's not oversized. You know, some of them, again, running like 4 3-cylinders on there. It's a little excessive, but this one is nicely sized. Really, really nice outboard on this, and it really behaves and performs very well. So great build, and thanks for sharing it. Right, and the next build here is the small fishing boat Ralph. So I really like this picture. I'm not a huge fan, again, of the frame, but this is a really well done picture. Let's zoom into it. This is a really inviting thumbnail. You know, the thumbnail is what will make people click on your builds in the workshop. You know, so this is a really good thumbnail. I like this kind of windowed effect on there. I would just get rid of the vehicle frame, frankly. I think that would improve it, and, you know, maybe even kind of do your own little framing on this. But, you know, I really like the design choice on this. It looks really cool. It's very inviting. Some good screenshots here. Capture, you know, I like this regular side view of it, and then we have one in the editor is kind of nice. A nice sunshine, a nice sunset picture. Really nice on screenshots here. This is by Alistair. Small fishing boat Ralph. It definitely fits the spirit of the challenge for a small fishing boat. You know, some of them are quite large, and again, you're gonna have to pay. You're gonna have to catch a lot of fish by fishing rod to pay for that. So, small fishing boat. Disclaimer: can drain the battery if not moving for a while. Okay, so you may want to put an APU on that. Ralph is built for my challenge. Ralph is the perfect little vessel for local fishing journeys. It has a relatively small engine, which doesn't output too much speed, but it's just enough where it doesn't guzzle fuel. Good, that's exactly what the challenge is about. Easy controls allow for a pleasurable ride. Ralph is very sturdy, little boat on the move, as well as stop while you're fishing. Facts. Fact 1 has a battery switch off, so you don't. So when one battery gets below 0.8, it changes to the other. That's neat. So an auto switch in the batteries, and charges and switches back to the other. So that's kind of cool. So it's like an electronic circuit breaker system. We used to have those on some of the airplanes. Fact 2 can survive a tsunami. Specifications cost a little under 28,000. 33-kilometer range. Flat 6-cylinder, 1x1 it looks like, given a max speed of 8 meters per second. Again, nice small engine, economical. That means that you're not going to have to catch an insane amount of fish to be able to pay for this thing. Can spawn at the beginner outpost, has 2 fishing poles, comes with 2 small fish storage units in the rear of the boat, 1 small battery, 2 small generators, 313 liters of fuel, 1 engine repair hatch. Controls. To start the boat, use the big key to the right of the console. To the left of the wheel, you'll find the cabin controls, such as interior lights and heating. To the right of the steering wheel, you'll find dials, your battery, 1x1 odometer, speed, and fuel. To the right of the steering wheel, you'll find switches, your position. Like, this isn't bad for controls. I just, recommend, like, Citruses, where it's step 1, 2, 3. That's really helpful, but this is still really good to have the controls in here. It's easy to find. It's easy for me to see it. So really nice workshop page, and let's move on to the review. All right, so reading the instructions here. So it says start the boat, use the big key to the right of the console. So let's go ahead inside. A little bit of water washing of the deck. Again, that is, can't do much about that. I purposely put no glitches in this. You could make the boat oversized, but I'm not penalizing the people who chose to make their boats a little on the smaller side. This is kind of cool. So, pretty basic cabin in here, but I really do like this paint job on the carpet. This looks like carpeting. I might have to do something similar to my own builds. This carpet looks really cool and it's striking. A lot of my floors look pretty boring. This floor immediately caught my eye, so I really like that carpeting choice. So XML seat in there. I would kind of, if I were you, I like the simple designing here. I might do a little bit of a different color on the walls, like literally maybe like a couple RGB values different. That way it's not as monochromatic. Because if you think about it, the light is on the ceiling. The light's going to be hitting here. So what I might do is keep it bright on the ceiling and here, and then just go down like a couple notches and almost gradate it here. That would just give it a little bit of depth, but I really like the simplicity in here. So we'll go ahead and jump on. Big key to the right of the console. All right, then we have interior lights and heater. Let's go ahead, spotlights and position lights. Let's put position lights on. Let's go ahead on out. So WS is throttle sticky. It doesn't say AD, but it is. I would just add that to the H menu. It's always a nice little detail, just a little bit of extra effort. I really like the look of this boat. This boat looks really cute. I don't know what is up with these props underneath here. That's a little bit weird to me, but yeah. Just, it's interesting. But really cool little boat. I like this. So if it's for your roll stability, there's probably some other cool things you could do in there. But again, it works. So, there's always 100 ways to do each thing. So very stable. No tipping problems. I really love the design of this hull. This hull looks really cool to me. So I really like this hull. It's very, very neat. I like the paint job. You did a really good job with the paint. It's simple, but it's effective. I really like the decking color on there. I like the blue, orange, and white with the black trim rail. I like the name on the back. Really like the design of your wheelhouse here. Very good design on that. So handles like a dream. Really does. I'm at full D here, and we are turning no problem. We can see we have nav lights on. Very nice. This just maneuvers really well. I really like this boat. It's very cute. It fits the bill. It's affordable, it's fuel efficient, really cute little fishing boat. So I don't see it putting me in reverse, so I don't know if there's a reverse button. You don't have that on there. I would like to know what that is. It'd be kind of helpful if you'd put that on there as well. But let's go ahead and let's fish. So we got a couple items in here if we needed it, fire extinguishers and stuff. Okay, so right here it says it, repair hatch. It's supposed to be don't open unless emergency, can flood the boat when not moving. So yeah, that's kind of an issue. I really like your hull design. It's very sleek. Once the challenge is over, you can go ahead and if you want to glitch it or if you want to use something else to be able to get a little bit more buoyancy, but this is a game thing that we get this washing effect, so it's not a big deal. All right, so we have fishing rods here, so I'm just going to use the one I brought with me. Let's toss it in, and we'll take some more looks at this boat. I really, really like the design of this boat. It looks very attractive here, so let's go ahead, and whilst I fish here, let's look at it. So I like the little white line here. That's a good detail. You see it's got a little bit of contrast color on there. You know, for example, one thing you might be able to do, I really like the hull design here, but, you know, it is, you know, you're not going to see your hull too much. So one thing you could do is, like, if you just straightened it out a little bit here underneath, you might be able to get it to float a little bit higher in the water. But I really do like that hull design. The hull design came out really nice. Maneuvers incredibly well. So let's go ahead and see if we can catch this fish here. I think, do we have one on? He's thinking about it. He's after it. He's there. He's after it. So let's see if he gets it. Again, this is not a test of if I can catch a fish with your boat. So if he's, there he is. Perfect. All right, so let's reel it in. So we have these two fish hoppers here. That's cool. You labeled them too. Fish hoppers. All right, so we'll reel this fish in. All right, very nice. Very attractive little boat. You might want to, if you get some opportunity after the challenge is over, just see if you can get it to float just a hair higher. There's some tricks you can use. Why did I fall off there? Okay, there must have been an XML. Yep, there's probably an XML block there that that has no collision. But there are probably some things you can do here to get this to float a little bit higher. Let me quickly look under your deck here. So like, if you look at your decking here, Alistair, you have they're regular blocks. If you put in wedge, oh wow, there's your weight. Okay, if you put in some wedge blocks on this decking, that's going to cut the weight by half of what the deck weighs. A regular block weighs 1. A wedge, a 1x1 wedge, weighs 0.5. So you might be able to drop some weight by putting in some wedges on the decking here. That might help you drop some of the weight. And those are some little tricks you can use to try to get the weight down and get it to sit a little higher in the water. But great little build. Really enjoyed it. And thanks for submitting. All right, and the next build here is the Bernoulli Novi Flotsam. So really cool. There's a good thumbnail here. So if it eventually loads Steam. So I really like this. Good picture here with a bunch of branding. This really catches the eye and makes me want to click on the build and read some more about it. A big part of that on the workshop is getting people to look at your builds, if you care about that, is, you know, drawing them in. And so this is a good picture. Really draws you in. Some good pictures here, different interior, exterior. That's cool, showing the vacuum. This is by Sergeant Cheesecake. All right, Bernoulli Novi Flotsam. Description: a scrap air recovered vessel restored, made seaworthy by a small group of engineers from Bernoulli Novi during their lunch breaks. It's not the prettiest, but you get the job done. And on a small budget, spare change, and sandwiches, that's really all that counts. This vessel is named Flotsam after its remarkable resemblance to the real stuff. The rusted iron-rich surface adding to its charm. Stats: vessel comes in at a cost of just over $14,000, making an excellent budget option for pioneering fishers and boaters alike. Yes, boaters is a very real word. No, we did not make it up. The top speed sits around 24 knots with a respectable 11 knots going in reverse. Super advanced weight balancing systems. It's just random junk to weigh it down. Allows this vessel to maintain stability even in rougher weather. It comes packed with basic equipment for self-maintenance and resource storage. To start the engine and get moving, first turn on the main battery breaker located to the right of the helm, then use the key right of the helm halfway down. You are good to go. W for throttle, AD for steering. A button for reverse is located on the dashboard. Credits and other stuff. This was made for my challenge. Please rate the vehicle with a thumbs up or down if you found it in some way. Glowing regards or something. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the build. To start the engine and get moving, first turn on the main battery breaker located to the right of the helm, right there. All right, and then it says after that, we want to turn the key or the right of the helm halfway down. All right, and we're good to go. So let's turn on steering's AD. Throttle is WS, and 6 is start stop. So. All right, and let's start going forward. So WS. So I like the story. I like the pixelation on it for, you know, it's supposed to be a rusty heap. So it comes with a story. Kind of a, I don't know, weird little rudder setup here for me. I kind of like a conventional system where it's rudder behind the prop, but that's, you know, that's all personal preference there. So it handles really well. That's nice to see. You know, some of them were almost tipping over. Some of them were tipping over when stationary. So, you know, this is handling pretty well going through. It's only 25% wind, but it's handling pretty well. It gets a little bit rocky there, but it's again, it's reasonable. So let's go ahead and get going here, and we'll stop. All right, so let's go ahead and we can go downstairs. So let's go downstairs quickly and shut the hatch here. So this is the engine room here. We have a bed as well. Some repair equipment in the event that we cause disastrous things to happen here. And so just kind of like a little access hatch so you can go do some stuff. So that's a nice little detail there. Let's take a quick little look around. What do we have here? This is... looks like fuel, just some access there in case we need to do repairs. I am not seeing a fishing rod. There it is, right there. Okay, good. So we do have a fishing rod here. So I already have one on me, so I'll just use that one. And here are the, they're the hoppers. So let's go ahead and we'll throw one out. And while we're doing that, I'll go ahead and we'll take a look at the exterior of the build again. So nice and simple. You know, it came with a story. It's supposed to be a hunk of junk that they reworked, and so it's rusty. You know, pretty little bit basic on the design, but it looks good, and it you know, it fits the bill of the story that came with it. You know, I would kind of like to see the rudder sitting behind the propeller. That's how it would be IRL, and you have space for it. Some people, they just don't have space, so I'd kind of put the rudder behind the propeller and just do the one. You know, that would look a little bit better, I think. That's a little weird to me, having an electric radiator underneath there. You could put a heat sink in, and that would be correct to what a boat should have. And it would also work, I would say, equally as well. So let's go ahead and we'll reel in this fish. But a really cool build. I like the story. I like the workshop page. Instructions weren't bad. It was pretty simple. But again, like if you look at, like Citrus had the best instructions. He had pictures showing me where everything was. And then, you know, they were numbered, and he had a numbered list. That was the easiest for me to follow. This was not challenging by any stretch of the imagination, but that's, I would say, kind of the best method for workshop pages. But a really cool boat, and thanks for submitting it. Right, and the next boat here is the Two Palms LFV-01 Pop-Up. All right, so I like the picture here. Interesting with having, you know, it looks like a shark in there, and there's some jellyfish. Really well done. I just think this vehicle frame takes away from it. I would follow the tutorial and just get rid of that. If you wanted to frame it up, you could put your own frame, but that's just doesn't pop as much. Some nice pictures here. It is neat that you put all that jellyfish and whatnot in there. That's kind of cool. A little bit of an accent there. This is by York. A boat inspired by Ponyo. Hello, this little boat may look a little familiar to some of you. That would be because it's based off the boat from the movie Ponyo. While not scale or spec, I try to keep the shape and propulsion as close to the original as possible. The little vehicle was built for my challenge, and while not the best or even really that effective, it wanted to contribute after I caused so much stress with the APC turned fishing boats. That's all right. Features: while being such a small vehicle, this thing packs everything you would need for a basic fishing vessel. An absolutely blistering top speed, roughly 24 knots on a good day. The interior uses a door to make a sealed area, which means if you take heavy waves, you'll need to pump out the water. Speaking of which, this does come equipped with one bilge pump, 2 fishing rods, a single hopper for storage of 28 fish, I think. Controls, again, this is a nice way to put the controls. It's easy for me to see. Controls on this little egg-shaped lad are pretty simple. WS, forward, back, 80, left, right. 1 holds current bearing, 2 is cruise control, 3 is reverse gear. Starting this vehicle can be quite odd. Once on the boat, hit the circuit breaker on the rudder to allow power all systems. Then look under the right side inner ledge and turn the key to start the engine. I know it's tough to see, but the door frame used to make it sealed there prevents me from moving to a more visible area. And yes, flipping the door frame does break it. Hit your W key to accelerate, and off you go. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. So jump on board. All right, so it says there's a circuit breaker right on top of the tiller here, and then this key. So pretty simple there. So I see fishing rods, so I'll just use the one I have on me since they're in here. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll head out. All right, nice. So let's just do some maneuvering here, see how it handles. So there's a 360 using water jets. As you can see, works well. So let's see what we're talking here. 24 knot speed. Got nav lights. Alright, so it handles well. It's based off of a boat from a movie. So, you know, a little bit on the simpler looking side, but again, it is kind of based off of another vehicle from TV, so it should look how it should look. So, but I really like the tiller. The tiller's kind of different and innovative. I like that. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll fish for a little bit here. So let's get off this handle and fish. All right, hopefully we have some fish near us. There's one right over there. I think that's too close. Let's see if we can't get this fish here. So, right here, let's try to get him so that I can catch him quickly. There we go. He's coming off after the lure there. All right, he's giving it a nibble. Let's see, will he take it? Nope, he got scared by me. There's another one coming in. Pike, maybe. Here it comes. He's back. There we go. Okay, good. Go ahead and reel it in. All right, nice. So let's go ahead and put them in there. So a nice little boat. I like the tiller. The tiller is different, innovative. This is neat. They're using a door frame here so that they don't get any of that water effect in. That's part of the game, is that we get this water effect in that's not very realistic. So it's kind of hard to do some of these things, so this was innovative to do this. As this is a designed feature in the game, especially now with the pressure update, the devs have designed these door frames to stop water. I don't consider this a glitch. This is intended behavior. So, cool little boat, and we'll move on to the next one. All right, and the last build here is the Everwave 335 Charlie Charlie. So, nice little thumbnail here. Again, I would get rid of the frame, not my personal preference, but it's a nice composed picture here with the name of the ship on it, so that's nice. Some good pictures here showing the different features of the boat. Got a real one that it is either inspired by or based off of by GuardedHalo. This vehicle is created for my challenge, developed by a fictional company, Everwave. The 335 Charlie Charlie is capable in a luxurious sport fishing boat. The boat is based off the Everglades 335 Charlie Charlie IRL. Specs and features, dual 450 horsepower V8, outboards, 22 knot top speed, eco, sport modes, heading hold, 160 gallon fuel capacity. Again, some of them were up at 9,000, so you can see this is showing that likely there's a little bit more fuel efficient at a more reasonable amount of fuel for a small fishing boat. Fin stabilized, Lua display, deck lighting with mood lighting, head compartment, bilge pump heater, cost 26,000. Operation once at the helm, turn the key to the bottom right. Throttle WS, steering AD. Cut throttle is space display. Navigate the Lua display using the touchscreen inside each of the menus. There are small arrows on the bottom left of the screen to return to the home screen. Let's go ahead and take a look. All right, so let's go on board here and let's read the workshop page, and we'll see what we have to do to operate this here. So it's pretty simple. It's got a pretty good little list to tell me what to do on the microcontrol on the workshop page rather, so that's helpful. So it goes, once at the helm, turn the key to the bottom right. So right there, I believe, if I can see, yep. Turn the key to the bottom right. Okay. Is there a breaker I have to click? Because that looks like it has no power. That has no electricity. Interesting. So let's go battery main. Okay. So list could just be changed a little bit. It could say once at the helm, turn on battery main, and then the key. That's the only problem is it was not allowing electricity to the key. Throttles WS, steering's 80, and cut space throttle. So let's go ahead real quick. Engine. All right. Arrow, nav, and info. All right. Cam, screen. Okay. Let's see. Heater, horn. Deck lighting, nav lighting, helm light, mood lighting. Let's turn on the mood lighting. Oh, my mood has improved. Eco performance. All right, let's see. 480 RPM. I wonder if that's faked or if that's correct. Let's go ahead and we'll go to engines and we'll head out of here. I would say that's faked. Nah, maybe not. That sounds pretty loud. Let's put it in eco. Wow. So that is where we were in eco mode. So I'm curious. Let me actually go check the RPS of this. I'm curious how much fuel. Oh, it's gallons. So that's in gallons as well, not in liters. Let's see if I can't get a. Let's see if I can't get an RPS read on this here. It might be what's depicted there. I'm not sure if there's multiplication. I'm not sure what this is about here. I don't know what the engine page is doing, showing me there. But yeah, this is. I'm curious how fuel efficient this is. Really well designed. Like the look of it is really nice. I like the twin outboards. Again, they're not moving, which is fine. It's using, looks like the rudders underneath. No, they are moving. Okay, never mind. They are moving. I can see them moving. At first, I could not see them moving. But really well-designed outboards. They look really, really good. I like the paint job on the boat is really nice. You know, I like Citrus's boat a lot, but the water was coming over. So this one's a little bit bigger to prevent that. Kind of the same type of style of boat here. But nice little look. Definitely looks like an Everglades. We used to see these, so that's cool. Like the mood lighting. All right, handles really well. No handling problems. Let's press the space bar to zero out our thrust. So I'm a little bit curious about what the fuel efficiency is like on this one. So let's go ahead. We'll put that in the water, and we'll take a look at some more stuff on the boat. So, like the paint job. Paint job came out really nicely. It looks very realistic in here. I like the. It says does it say Everglades under there? It does say. Looks like it says Everglades there. We're missing a section here, so just a little error there. I'd go back and fix that. It's probably for branding or for. No, it looks like it's for the line. No, that's for the branding. So yeah, it looks like this could be fixed here. Oh, we got a fish on here. Let's get that fish in. All right, nice. So let's go ahead and put the fish in the fish storage. Very nice. So let's look around a little bit. Fishing rods, plenty of seating. It is nice when the water's not washing on the deck. I like that a little bit better when it's not, you know, constantly have water on the deck. That is helpful. So nice, really nice outboards. I like the mood lighting a lot. This checks off a lot of boxes. Let's go. There is a head in here. Let's see if we can get to it here. So there is the head in here. So you see this on a lot of these boats. There's a little compartment under the center console where you can come in and just use a port ahead. A little bit of access there, I guess, in case we need to repair something. But very cool little boat. So this is a cool boat. I really enjoyed it, and thanks for posting it. So this was a very close challenge. So we have a points tie, and I've already chosen my favorite. So my favorite actually also received the most points. So generally when we get a tie like this and we have a lot of entrants, I will give my favorite, captain's favorite, and then we have a tie for points for second. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give dual winners to the points winner, and I will give one to captain's favorite. So let's start with the dual points winners. And the dual points winners are the Ralph by Alistair and the Everwave by GuardedHalo. So these are some really good boats. I like the look of Alistair's Ralph on the left of your screen. Really nice hull design here. Really basic, simple colors. Came out very, very nicely. The Everwave by GuardedHalo. Really cool boat. I like the things like the mood lighting. Really attractive boat. There was no water washing over the deck, which was nice. A bunch of them had that. This build did not. It had twin outboards, very stable. Both these boats were nice and stable and very usable. So, and they both fit the bill for what the challenge was, a small fishing boat. So, really great builds, guys, and you are the dual points winners. And next, it's Captain's favorite, and Captain's favorite is the Nautikstar by Citrus. So this boat really fit the bill for what the challenge is supposed to be about, a small fishing boat. It is nice, it's compact. There was a little bit of water washing over it, but again, that's kind of a, you know, a balancing act. How do you want the boat to look? Do you want it to look realistic? This boat looks very realistic, has a realistic hull. The downside of that is it's a little bit of waterlogged, so maybe Citrus can get it up a little bit where it is not sitting in the water so much, but really well-designed boat. I liked its small, compact nature. The builds were very close, this one. You know, the top three here, the 2 points winner, and this one were all within 1 point. 2 of them were tied. And so this is a really cool boat. Great job, Citrus. Excellent workshop page. I really liked how you had a picture showing me where all the controls were, had a nice list on there. I think Citrus went ahead on that workshop page. I think it was the extra point, or it would have been a 3-place tie for points. So really great work, Citrus. And the next winner is up to you guys. So you guys will have about a week to go on the Discord and vote for which was your favorite. So last winner is the community favorite. So make sure you check the Discord and vote there. Link will be in the description. Thank you to everybody who participated in the challenge. It was a really fun challenge, and I look forward to the next one.